I'm going to turn this over now to this young fellow who's been so nervous, and please treat him kindly. He's incredible. His dad said, "You want the business? Here's the business. I'm going to Florida," and that was about it after 30 years. So he has been so nervous. I tell you, yesterday when it was raining, we've done nothing but cool him down. His wife has been pumping pills into him to keep him calmed down. So be nice to this guy. Oh my gosh, Brandon Doyle.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming today. I'm glad the weather held up nicely. I was a very young boy when I first saw this building, and little did I know how much history there was until recently, how important this is for not only the town of Selbyville, the entire state of Delaware, and United States agriculture. More than 30 years ago, my father bought this restaurant from the Sturgis family and has been a working member of this business and an active participant in the community ever since. And today we would like to honor that tradition with the unveiling of this historical marker. I would like to thank Senator Hocker and Representative Collins for the funding of the marker, Patricia Anderson for helping coordinate this event, Tom Summers, Sarah Dennison, Kate Fair, and the Delaware Archives for getting the marker produced and installed today and forevermore. The Town of Selbyville, Mayor Clifton Murray, City Manager Bob Dickerson, Town Council and Police Department, Peppy Pepper, and the entire Selbyville Fire Department, Roy Gold, Kenny Madera, and the Delaware State Fire Police, Randy Garvin, who let us know that we actually had something so special here, Michael Oates and Gene Covert from 302 Stories, the Sturgis family, Roger Moreno, Bill Sager, DPI, Rolf Hokanson, who has done a lot of our photography work recently, Kelly Klein and the Selbyville Library, Miss Rita Holliday and the Selbyville Community Club, Donna Murray, Dawn Lakites, Lorraine Whelan, and Jane Foltz, Freddie Stevens for helping us at the museum for today, Sue Nielsen and the Bethany Chamber of Commerce, Dean Disharoon and Sam Katz from the Delaware Masonic Lodge, Jamie Leedy and everyone at New Bedford Point, Richard Carter from the Delaware Heritage Commission, Terry Johnson, Georgetown Historical Society, and Judy Lehman from High Tide News, and everyone else who has been instrumental in making today happen. Thank you all very much.
Folks, we're going to unveil this historical marker, and it's going to be done by the person actually who created this marker, and Brandon, and everybody knows Dad Doyle.
You know, it's probably about a year ago I got a call from Brandon saying that he was informed that he may have the oldest donor in Sussex County. And I said, well, we'll look into that. And we found out it's the oldest donor in Delaware, right? The oldest donor in Delaware. So we said we would look into it and try to, you know, get it dedicated and get a historical marker, which you see here today. Having an assistant like Patricia Anderson, you know who to go to. And Patricia worked many hours on making all this happen, working with Brandon, and I give her, you know, all the thanks for really this day today. And I was asked if I'd be in charge of the weather, so no, not really. I know who's in charge of the weather. It wasn't that at all. But where would Sussex County be without the chicken industry? Can you just imagine? And in 1951, the guys getting together here, I was born then, but believe me, I can't remember 1951. I was very young. But getting together and forming the Delaware Eastern Shore Poultry Exchange right here a year later after that. But I can just imagine the people that were involved, the old-time chicken growers, the Herb Calhouns, the Halls, the Peppers, and you can just name them over and over. I can just imagine the kind of conversations they had. But the industry really started in Ocean View, where, you know, my home is. The Steele family up here today. Thanks for Cecil Steele. You know, if she only could come back and see where it is today. But I can tell you, Sussex County and probably the entire state of Delaware would not be what it is without the chicken industry. And what's so sad, being a state legislator, there's so many people moving in here now don't realize what it means to Delaware. And we'd love to see it shut down. You know, they want chickens without the chicken manure. You know, when I was growing up, I wanted a horse. And Dad says, you can have a horse, but you can't have the horse manure. And you can't have chickens without it and the growers. And, you know, we're just so thankful to the dedication so many of them have. But we got another thing facing the chicken growers today and the chicken industry in the state of Delaware is state, federal, local regulations. I mean, we're meeting now on this new stormwater management regulation. It could very well shut down the chicken industry. It's not going to allow it to grow the way it is. And I've been trying for years to get some controls over regulations so that the costs don't more than outweigh the benefits. And, you know, everybody working together on that. But right now, I can tell you there's some regulations that are so costly, things just aren't. So with that, we got to work with everybody, get everybody involved, and allow this industry to continue to grow. We all know what it has meant. And I thank you all for, you know, being here and seeing this dedication and celebration. Thanks.
In case one or two of you don't know who that was Gerald Hocker, Senator Hocker, and he said, I don't know, I don't want to talk because I have nothing to say.
Well, I'm Representative Rich Collins, and frankly, folks, these are the kind of events that make this job fun. I had a lot to do with the strength of the chicken industry as well. Fried chicken's been my favorite food since I was a little boy, and I have eaten many a chicken, I'll tell you that. This marker is really kind of an unfolding story. We thought we were doing a marker for this restaurant. This wonderful restaurant has provided such marvelous service and it's kind of a center of the community for so many years. And then after we got into the process, it was found out that it was also where the modern chicken industry basically got its start. So really two big things wrapped into one. I'll also say until I got elected and started going to a few meetings with the chicken industry, I truly did not comprehend. If the chicken industry were to leave us, we would have thousands of people at every income level, from the very highest down the scale, without a job and without health care insurance and all kinds of other things. So I think, and there's nothing to replace it, I think we've got to do everything we can to keep that industry strong. I think we've got to do everything we can to keep the small businesses strong, like Doyle's Restaurant. And by the way, one way you can do that is by going in there and getting a meal as soon as you can. And so, Mike and Brandon, I want to thank you for the service you provide to this community, and I look forward to partaking of some of your fried chicken in the very near future. Now, I think we have Mayor Murray coming.
Well, I think you said it. I'm Mayor Murray. I took one while there. First, I'd like to congratulate Brandon and Mike, and I see Edward there, for the restaurant. If you look at that brochure and you see how it's held up and how they maintain it, I think it says a lot for the quality of the leadership and they've had into the restaurant business. So I do commend you on that. And hope you never run out of chicken, because that's the best thing you got, fried chicken. But I'm kind of on the middle. I mean, our largest employer is a poultry company in Selbyville. And I am a farmer, so I know what he's talking about when he talks about these regulations. And he's right to the point. I mean, they're very serious, and they got to be dealt with. And when you're at that level and you see what's going on, how bad it's hurting the poultry industry, and you really know how this industry functions and what it takes to make it go, you just hope that somebody sees what's going on and helps the farmers, and that we all got to be together. For certainly the farmers don't want to destroy the environment. That's our main answer to our land. The last thing we want to do is leave on a piece of land that's been hurt by the production that we've done. So I just hope we can get it all together, and Gerald's on the right track, Rich is with him. A lot of other ones up there, I'm sure, feel the same way, and I just hope we can get together. And congratulations again to you fellas. I think the Donner still looks, I mean, to be put here in 1950, it's held up a lot better than some of us. Thank you.
Well, now we're going to go up the road. We're going to go north to Dover, to the State House, where some things happen. I didn't say many things. Some things happen.
Thank you, Roger. I'm Austin Short. I'm Deputy Secretary of Agriculture here for Delaware. I'm standing in for Ed Key today. For those of you who know Ed, I'm sure he would rather be here. He's on an airplane at the moment, because Ed loves agriculture and he loves history. So to have a historical marker dealing with agriculture is right up Ed's alley. But I'll do my best to fill in for him today, since he couldn't be here. But on behalf of the Department of Agriculture, it's certainly our pleasure to be here today with the Doyle family to recognize the importance of this building, not only as I'm sure as many of you know, the exchange peaked, I think, about 47 million chickens at one point were sold through the exchange at its biggest year. And that's an incredible number if you think back to where it started only 30 or 40 years before that with Mrs. Steele. And today, as I'm sure you all know, ag in Delaware is a $1.1 billion industry. That's direct sales. That's not with the multiplier effect. So $1.1 billion of direct sales, and over 70% of that is due to the poultry industry, whether it's the broilers or the corn and soybeans used to help feed those broilers. So as the gentleman has said before me, much better than I, the poultry industry is vitally important to the state, not just our agriculture, but our state of Delaware economy. And when you do include the multiplier effect, that $1.1 billion becomes $8 billion in the economy. So obviously whatever we can do to not only recognize the past and how things started, but also help to make sure in another 40 or 50 years from now we can be dedicating another marker someplace about agriculture and the poultry industry. So again, it's my pleasure to be here today, and again to recognize the Doyle family. Thank you for all you've done in helping keep this business going. And again, it's my pleasure to stand in for Ed Key today. Thank you very much.
Mr. Short really epitomizes what we do have in Dover, and the friends we have in Dover in the Department of Agriculture. They work hard for us.
Thank you. My name is Drew Slater. I'm Congressman Carney's Kenton Census Coordinator. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today. He had another engagement in Wilmington. But I just want to congratulate the Doyle family. It's really hard to have a restaurant for 30 years. I know you've probably faced some challenges. But just looking out here, so on the last speaker, we were very short. Just looking out here, looking at all the people and the M-word restaurant in the background, I just want to point out there's a lot more people here. And that's the way it should be. And that's the way we need to keep it. So thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, well, we're about done, so we'd like to invite everybody to come in and see our museum that we've set up in the diner and have some cake. Oh, we got one more person who wants to speak.
I'll just say this, Roger told us that Brandon was so nervous about his speech. After hearing him, I'm hiring him as my official spokesman, so I just want everyone to know that.
To the Doyle family, I'm Dennis Daniels, Commander of the American Legion of Dagsboro, and for dedicated service that they give, we would like to give them this plaque to hang on their wall in appreciation for your continuing support and donations to the American Legion veterans. The American veterans, I can call Mike up, they will donate stuff to the Legion to help us out when we're doing stuff for veterans. They also, anytime you need them,